Good evening, everyone, and welcome your ultimate destination for all things bold, brash, and totally unfiltered in entertainment news. I'm your host, Jackson Steele, coming to you live with a story that's sure to ignite conversations and stir up some serious buzz. Tonight, we're diving deep into the controversy that's rippling across the internet following Saturday Night Live's writer Josh Patton's hilarious jab at country music superstar Morgan Wallen. Yes, you heard that right, an SNL writer has taken to social media to poke fun at a very controversial Instagram post by Morgan Wallen, and the fallout is nothing short of explosive. In this special report, we'll break down every twist of the story, from Wallen's abrupt exit from SNL, his memorable performance of tracks from his upcoming album I'm the Problem, to the cheeky retort by writer Josh Patton using a Krispy Kreme truck to mirror Wallen's "Get Me to God's Country" caption. We'll also explore the background drama, including Wallen's previous controversies, the social media storm that followed, and what this means for one of country music's most polarizing figures. So, grab your popcorn and buckle up, because tonight's ride is full of drama, wit, and sizzling commentary. The stage was set on Saturday night when Morgan Wallen stepped onto SNL for only his second appearance on the show. After a long hiatus from late-night television, not to mention the controversy that had rocked his career after his infamous use of a racial slur on video, Wallen's return was highly anticipated. With 133.5 million viewers tuning in for the Super Bowl halftime show just last month, the nation's eyes are always glued to every move he makes. On this fateful Saturday, Wallen performed not one, but two songs from his highly anticipated upcoming album I'm the Problem. Fans were treated to the title track as well as Just in Case, and the performance had all the glitz, glamour, and, yes, controversy that one would expect from a comeback. As the show drew to a close, things took an unexpected turn during the closing credits. Wallen was seen standing next to guest host Mikey Madison, a newly minted Best Actress Oscar winner for her role in Honora. Madison graciously thanked the audience as the band played, and in a moment that seemed warm and friendly, Wallen gave her a quick hug, whispered something in her ear, and then abruptly walked off stage. It was at that moment that the cameras caught the attention of the nation and social media began to buzz with questions about what just transpired. Had Wallen left the stage in frustration? Was there an underlying message in his behavior? The answers were soon to come, and they would be as unexpected as they were hilarious. Barely a few hours after his SNL appearance, Morgan Wallen took to Instagram stories and posted an image that left fans, critics, and casual scrollers equally perplexed and outraged. The image, which appeared to be of a private jet parked on the runway, was captioned with the provocative line, "Get me to God's country." Now, while many fans of Wallen appreciate his raw, unfiltered style, this particular post struck a nerve with a segment of the audience. According to TMZ, at least 125 complaints were later filed with the FCC following his performance, complaints that were directly linked to elements of his act, including his controversial post. But this post wasn't just a random expression of wanderlust or a cryptic travel request. Some critics claimed that it was a thinly veiled dig at his critics or perhaps even a sly jab at his long-standing rivalries. One complaint even went as far as to say that Wallen used his platform to settle personal vendettas. As the controversy swirled online, it became clear that Morgan Wallen's post was more than just an offhand remark. It was a spark that lit up the digital world, setting off debates about artistic expression, public image, and the fine line between provocation and poor taste. In the midst of this brewing storm, Saturday Night Live writer Josh Patton stepped in with a perfectly timed dose of humor and satire. Patton, known among his colleagues for his razor-sharp wit and fearless social commentary, couldn't resist taking a playful jab at Wallen's post. And how did he do it? By posting his own Instagram story featuring an image that was sure to turn heads, a photo of a Krispy Kreme truck with its back end comically open, paired with the very same caption, "Get me to God's country." This clever retort was the kind of moment that live audiences live for, a moment when art imitates life, and humor cuts through tension like a hot knife through butter. Patton's post was not only a parody of Wallen's but also a commentary on the absurdity of celebrity culture, where a single social media post can spark such a fervor. One media outlet even reported, "Guessing Patton's not a Morgan Wallen fan," to which the SNL writer promptly replied with an eye-roll emoji and followed up with a snapshot of his Apple Music playlist from 2023, complete with several Wallen tracks. This tongue-in-cheek move reminded everyone that while you can poke fun at someone on social media, you can still appreciate their music. It was a playful, self-aware moment that only added fuel to the conversation. To truly understand the magnitude of this incident, we need to delve into the background. Morgan Wallen has been a lightning rod for controversy in recent years. His career took a significant hit when a video surfaced showing him using the N-word while chatting with a friend, a moment that led to widespread backlash, radio stations dropping his music, and award shows snubbing him despite his nominations. Though Wallen apologized for his use of the slur, the controversy left a lasting mark on his career. Despite these setbacks, Wallen remains one of country music's most successful and influential artists. His fans appreciate his unfiltered, authentic approach to music, even if it occasionally lands him in hot water. And his recent appearance on SNL was seen as a chance for a comeback, a moment to reclaim his place in the spotlight and remind the world of his undeniable talent. Yet, it wasn't just his past that made his recent SNL appearance controversial. The post-event social media frenzy, combined with the mixed reactions from viewers, shows that even after an apology and a successful performance, certain aspects of Wallen's public persona continue to spark debate. Let's rewind to the night of the performance itself. On Saturday night, as Wallen took the SNL stage, the energy in the studio was electric. With a set list that included 2 songs from his upcoming album I'm the Problem, the title track and Just in Case, Wallen delivered a performance that was both powerful and, for some, deeply unsettling. During the show's closing credits, an intriguing scene unfolded. Wallen was seen standing next to guest host Mikey Madison, the Oscar-winning actress known for her breakout role in Honora. In a moment that initially appeared warm and collegial, Wallen gave Madison a hug, whispered something into her ear, and then, quite abruptly, walked off stage. Was this simply part of the act? Or was it an indication of underlying tensions? While the exact meaning remains open to interpretation, it certainly set the stage for what was to follow, a cascade of social media reactions and a growing narrative that Wallen's actions on stage were more than just performance, they were a statement. Once Wallen's Instagram story went live, the digital world exploded. Viewers took to social media to express their shock, amusement, and, yes, discontent. The post, with its provocative "Get Me to God's Country" caption, became a lightning rod for criticism. Among those firing off responses were individuals who believed Wallen's words were intended to target his critics or even settle old scores. At least 125 formal complaints were subsequently filed with the FCC regarding aspects of his performance and his post-event messaging. Now, let's put those numbers in perspective. Out of 133.5 million viewers, a number we saw during the recent Super Bowl halftime show, 125 complaints might seem minuscule. Yet, in the realm of broadcast regulation, every complaint counts, and each one becomes a talking point for further controversy. Critics argue that this small yet vocal minority highlights a deeper divide in how audiences perceive provocative art. On one side, many fans defend Wallen's right to express himself freely even if his language or the timing of his post is deemed controversial by some. On the other side, detractors argue that a figure with such a high-profile comeback should be more mindful of his public image, especially on platforms with such massive reach. This tug-of-war between artistic expression and public expectation is at the heart of the debate swirling around Wallen's recent actions. While the controversy raged on, SNL writer Josh Patton provided a masterclass in how to handle celebrity missteps with humor. Patton's clever Instagram post, featuring a Krispy Kreme truck with its back end comically open and bearing the exact same caption as Wallen's "Get Me to God's Country," was an instant hit with fans. This wasn't just an act of mockery, it was a strategic commentary on the absurdity of celebrity social media battles. Patton's move, which quickly garnered media attention and sparked the question "Guessing Patton's not a Morgan Wallen fan," was followed by his own playful rebuttal. He added an eye-roll emoji and then shared a snapshot of his Apple Music playlist from 2023, proudly displaying several Wallen songs. In doing so, Patton showed that while he might be poking fun at Wallen's controversial post, he still appreciates the country star's music. This moment of self-aware satire resonated with viewers who are tired of the endless cycle of outrage and take-no-prisoners social media feuds. It was a reminder that sometimes, humor is the best way to diffuse tension and bring perspective to a situation that might otherwise spiral out of control. So what does all of this mean for Morgan Wallen and his career? On one hand, the controversy stemming from his Instagram post and the subsequent FCC complaints could be seen as a setback for an artist who has already weathered significant storms in recent years. His previous scandal, caught on video using a racial slur, already caused ripples in the industry, with radio stations dropping his music and major awards shows excluding him despite nominations. Yet, on the other hand, Wallen remains one of country music's most successful artists, and his ability to stir up controversy might very well be part of his brand. In an era where every word, every gesture, and every post is magnified by social media, Wallen's unapologetic approach, whether you love it or hate it, keeps him in the public eye. And if history is any indication, controversy can sometimes be a catalyst for a successful comeback. For Wallen, the message he sent with "Get Me to God's Country" remains ambiguous. He hasn't offered an explanation for the post, leaving fans and critics to speculate about its meaning. Was it a cry for help, a subtle diss, or just a quirky expression of his state of mind? The lack of clarity only adds fuel to the fire, and in the world of celebrity, ambiguity often becomes the subject of endless debate. Let's shift gears for a moment and discuss the role of the FCC in all this drama. The Federal Communications Commission is tasked with regulating broadcast content, and in today's hyper-connected age, even a single social media post can trigger regulatory scrutiny. With 125 complaints filed, some might wonder if these numbers are significant. Statistically, when compared to the vast viewership of over 133 million people, 125 complaints are but a tiny fraction. However, in the world of broadcast regulation, every complaint carries weight. These complaints reflect a segment of the audience that felt strongly enough to take formal action, and they serve as a barometer for public sentiment. Critics argue that the complaint process can sometimes be misused or overblown, while supporters believe it's a necessary mechanism to ensure that public figures are held accountable for their expressions. For Kendrick's performance, the 125 complaints are less a measure of widespread discontent and more a snapshot of the polarized nature of modern entertainment. They highlight how even the most acclaimed artists can provoke strong reactions, both positive and negative, and how a single performance can become the focal point of a much larger cultural debate about freedom of expression, decency standards, and the responsibilities of public figures. At its core, this whole saga is about the power and peril of artistic expression. Kendrick Lamar, Morgan Wallen, and even SNL's own Josh Patton are part of a tradition of artists who use their platforms to provoke thought, stir emotions, and sometimes, even spark controversy. In today's world, where the line between art and activism is increasingly blurred, every performance is scrutinized, dissected, and debated by millions. Wallen's controversial post and the resulting complaints illustrate this perfectly. Some see his actions as a bold, unfiltered expression of his personality, a refusal to conform to a sanitized image that Hollywood sometimes demands. Others view it as a reckless misstep that risks alienating a broad swath of his audience. The truth, as with most art, is likely somewhere in between. It's a reminder that when you take a stand, when you put your creative vision out there for the world to see, you open yourself up to both adoration and criticism. And that's the essence of what makes live performance and social media so powerful. They are unpredictable, raw, and unfiltered mirrors of our society. In this case, the debate over Wallen's post has become a microcosm of larger issues: the balance between artistic freedom and public responsibility, the role of controversy in modern culture, and the ways in which art can both unite and divide. Morgan Wallen is no stranger to controversy, and his journey in country music has been marked by both tremendous success and significant setbacks. Despite the backlash he faced after the racial slur incident, Wallen has managed to maintain a loyal fan base and continue dominating the country charts. His unapologetic style, his distinctive voice, and his ability to tap into the raw emotions of his audience have all contributed to his enduring popularity. Yet, his approach to public relations is a double-edged sword. While his authenticity resonates with many, it also leaves him vulnerable to criticism from those who expect a more polished, politically correct persona from someone in his position. Wallen's latest Instagram post is a perfect example of this tightrope walk. What some see as a clever, offbeat expression of his individuality, others see as a careless provocation. This polarization is not unique to Wallen, it's a hallmark of contemporary celebrity culture. When an artist as influential as Wallen speaks, every word is analyzed, every gesture is scrutinized, and every misstep can be amplified across social media platforms. For Wallen, the challenge is not only to create great music but also to navigate the treacherous waters of public opinion in a digital age. Industry experts and cultural critics have weighed in on this saga, offering a range of perspectives on what Wallen's controversial post means for his career and for the broader landscape of country music. Some experts argue that controversy is simply part of the package for a star like Wallen, a sign that he is passionate, unapologetic, and willing to take risks. They point to his impressive comeback on SNL and his continued success on the charts as evidence that his core fan base stands by him, no matter what. Others, however, caution that every controversy carries the risk of alienating potential new fans or even causing lasting damage to an artist's reputation. With the FCC complaints serving as a tangible record of dissent, some worry that Wallen's provocative actions could have long-term implications, especially in an era where corporate sponsors and mainstream media outlets are increasingly sensitive to public sentiment. Yet, if history is any guide, controversy can also be a catalyst for reinvention. Many artists have weathered storms of public outrage only to emerge stronger and more determined. For Wallen, this may well be another chapter in a long and unpredictable career, a chapter that will be defined not by the number of complaints but by his ability to adapt, evolve, and continue creating music that speaks to his fans. Amid all the heated debates and emotional responses, one moment stands out as a beacon of levity: the clever Instagram post by SNL writer Josh Patton. In a move that perfectly encapsulated the spirit of satire, Patton's decision to mimic Wallen's post using a Krispy Kreme truck was both hilarious and thought-provoking. It was a reminder that sometimes, the best way to deal with controversy is with humor. Patton's playful jab not only diffused some of the tension but also sparked a broader conversation about the absurdity of celebrity feuds and the power of parody. His follow-up, sharing a snapshot of his Apple Music playlist filled with Wallen's tracks, was a masterstroke, signaling that while he might be poking fun, he still respects the music. It was a moment that perfectly captured the complexity of modern entertainment, where satire and sincerity can coexist, and where humor serves as a powerful tool to bridge divides. So, what's next for Morgan Wallen after this whirlwind of controversy? While he has yet to offer a detailed explanation for his enigmatic "Get Me to God's Country" post, one thing is clear: Wallen is not one to be easily silenced. Despite the FCC complaints, his performance on SNL and his continued success in country music prove that his star is far from dimming. In the coming weeks, we can expect Wallen's team to address the controversy head-on, either through official statements or by letting his music speak for itself. His upcoming album I'm the Problem is set for release on May 16, and many fans are eagerly anticipating whether the album will offer further insights into his state of mind or continue to push boundaries in the same provocative manner. For Wallen, the challenge will be to strike the right balance between raw authenticity and the need to appeal to a broader audience. As he navigates this delicate balance, the world will be watching closely, analyzing every lyric, every social media post, and every public appearance for clues about the future of this controversial yet undeniably talented artist. Beyond the immediate fallout for Morgan Wallen, this entire episode has ignited a broader debate about the role of controversy in art and entertainment. In today's hyper-connected world, every performance, every post, and every public statement is subject to intense scrutiny. And while some argue that this level of scrutiny stifles creativity, others believe that it's a necessary part of pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable in mainstream culture. Wallen's situation is a prime example of this delicate dance between artistic freedom and public expectation. His controversial post, the resulting FCC complaints, and the ensuing social media storm all point to a larger cultural conversation about the nature of celebrity, the responsibilities of public figures, and the power of art to challenge, provoke, and inspire. In many ways, controversy has always been a double-edged sword. It can tarnish reputations, alienate audiences, and lead to significant setbacks. But it can also serve as a catalyst for growth, forcing artists to evolve and sometimes even sparking a creative renaissance. For Morgan Wallen, the question now is whether this controversy will mark a turning point in his career, one that propels him to even greater heights, or one that forces him to recalibrate his approach to public life and artistic expression. At its heart, this saga is not just about Morgan Wallen or even about a single controversial post, it's about the complex, ever-changing landscape of our cultural dialogue. The 125 FCC complaints, the heated online debates, and the playful jabs from SNL's Josh Patton are all part of a larger narrative about how we engage with art in the digital age. When 125 viewers feel compelled to file formal complaints out of millions, it reflects not only their personal sensibilities but also the broader societal tensions that exist around issues of decency, authenticity, and the power of celebrity. It's a reminder that in an era where every moment is captured, shared, and scrutinized, art can become a lightning rod for cultural conflict, and that, in many ways, is a sign of a vibrant, dynamic society. This cultural reflection forces us to ask, what do we value in art? Do we prioritize unfiltered expression, even if it offends some, or do we demand a sanitized version of creativity that appeals to the masses? The debate sparked by Wallen's performance is a microcosm of these larger questions, and it serves as a testament to the power of music, performance, and social media to shape our collective values. As we near the end of tonight's deep dive, let's summarize the key takeaways from this unfolding drama. Morgan Wallen's controversial Instagram post, coupled with his recent SNL performance, has sparked a multifaceted debate that touches on everything from artistic freedom to public accountability. The 125 FCC complaints may seem like a small number in the grand scheme of things, but they are a potent symbol of how even a handful of voices can ignite a national conversation. On one side, Wallen's unapologetic style and willingness to push boundaries are celebrated by fans who see him as a beacon of authenticity in a world that often demands conformity. On the other side, critics argue that such controversy undermines the integrity of live performance, especially on platforms as influential as SNL. And then there's the humorous, satirical response from Josh Patton, which reminds us that sometimes, the best way to navigate controversy is to laugh at it. For the entertainment industry, this episode is a clear indicator that the line between art and provocation is continually shifting. As audiences become more engaged, more vocal, and more connected, the pressures on artists to balance creativity with responsibility will only increase. And while there are no easy answers, one thing is certain: controversy, when managed well, can be a powerful tool for growth and transformation. Looking ahead, Morgan Wallen's journey is far from over. With his new album I'm the Problem set for release on May 16, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether this controversy will derail his career or serve as a turning point that propels him into a new era of artistic evolution. His team is expected to address the controversy in the coming days, offering clarifications and perhaps even a fresh perspective on what "Get Me to God's Country" really means. Meanwhile, Wallen's continued presence on country radio and streaming platforms suggests that his core fan base remains loyal. The real test will be whether he can bridge the gap between his controversial persona and the evolving expectations of a modern audience. For fans, the message is clear: the path forward is one of resilience and reinvention. Morgan Wallen has weathered storms before, and this is yet another chapter in his unpredictable but compelling career. Whether you love him or loathe him, his story is one of growth, and it's a narrative that will undoubtedly evolve in fascinating ways over the coming months and years. As we wrap up tonight's explosive coverage of Morgan Wallen's controversial SNL post and the resulting FCC complaints, I want to leave you with a thought: art, in all its messy, unfiltered glory, is meant to challenge us, to provoke us, and sometimes, to divide us. Morgan Wallen's performance and the subsequent social media firestorm are a reminder that creativity comes at a price, one that is paid in public debate, passion, and sometimes, even outrage. This isn't just another celebrity scandal, it's a snapshot of our cultural moment, a moment when the boundaries of artistic expression are being tested like never before. And as we continue to navigate this digital age, where every tweet, every post, and every comment shapes our collective narrative, it's up to each of us to decide what we value in art and how we choose to respond to it. So, whether you're a die-hard Wallen fan, a critic of his provocative style, or simply someone who loves to watch the drama unfold, I encourage you to join the conversation. What do you think about the 125 FCC complaints? Do you see them as a justified reaction to controversial content, or as an overblown response to a performance that pushed the envelope? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below, and that, my friends, brings us to the end of tonight's deep dive into one of the most talked about moments in recent entertainment history. Morgan Wallen's SNL performance, his controversial Instagram post, and the resulting 125 FCC complaints have set off a chain reaction that reminds us of the power of art to spark debate and change the world. Thank you for joining me, and it has been an absolute pleasure guiding you through every twist and turn of this unfolding drama. If you enjoyed this in-depth report, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another sensational update from the world of entertainment. Before we sign off, I want to hear from you. What's your take on Morgan Wallen's latest controversy? How do you feel about the balance between artistic freedom and public accountability? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. Your voice is what makes this community so vibrant and engaged. Until next time, keep questioning, keep debating, and above all, keep celebrating the power of art even when it challenges us to see the world in a new light. Good night, and thank you for watching the Pop Culture Pulse.